Number 10. Gwyneth Paltrow. The founder of Goop, one of the leading ladies of the MCU and an avid disliker of the Metropolitan Gala. After attending the event a handful of times in the past, it's always left something to be desired. In an interview with the Kyle and Jackie O show, Paltrow admitted that the gala sucked, adding that it seems like it's the best thing in the world. People always think, oh my god, it's gonna be so glamorous and amazing, there's so many celebrities. But then you show up, it's boiling hot, it's crowded beyond belief, and everyone is apparently just shoving you. She also added that she felt that everyone was a little bit too old to be dressed up in punk clothes, whatever that means. For a few years, she openly boycotted the event, but eventually decided to attend. She's been an on and off again attendee for many years, but so far it's looking like she might sit out the next one. Perhaps she's too busy making candles that smell like her nether regions. That's a real thing that actually exists, and it supposedly smells like spicy orange, which really does not sound appetizing. Someone please take her to a doctor. Number 9. Demi Lovato. Demi's views on the Met Gala are chock full of expletives and fun no-no words, so if you want to know the specific things she said, check out her interview with Billboard from 2018. It's very fun. Speaking as honestly as she could in regards to the event, she revealed that it was terrible and there were no plans for her to attend any future dates. In the interview, she claimed that the experience was terrible, going on to say that one particular celebrity was a complete see you next Tuesday and miserable to be around. It was a very cliquey event, kind of like that scene in Mean Girls when they're in the cafeteria. Great movie, check out the musical when it comes out. According to Demi, the entire thing was just uncomfortable and she just really wanted some no-no juice. At the time, Demi was actively sober and revealed that immediately following this event, she went to an AA meeting. She changed clothes but still had diamonds on, million-dollar diamonds in a room full of people struggling with substance issues, and she could relate more to everyone in that room over the plastic fake dolls that she claimed to see at the Met Gala. Since then, she has steered clear from attending the events and kind of banned herself by saying all that mean stuff, but sounds like it could be way worse. Number 8. Russell Brand. For obvious reasons, Russell Brand is banned from most events and has been for a while now. Even before the controversy that came up this year, this dude has been unwelcome at royal events, awards shows, birthday parties, who knows. For anyone who doesn't know, I'm sorry to be the one to inform you that Russell Brand is secretly a terrible person. The man known best as a comedian, bringer of joy, has secretly been manipulative, aggressive, and at times violent to his ex-partners. Following the news that a documentary about his life and career was set to release on BBC's Channel 4, several complaints were filed alleging that Russell had mistreated them during their time together. In fact, there were a few more added to that list just earlier today. The allegations were actually reinforced by Russell's ex-fiancée, Katy Perry. They dated for over a year, and in that time she came to learn that Russell was short-tempered, opinionated, and stubborn, qualities that make a man a terrible person. Russell's career was cancelled and he is currently awaiting a trial, so something tells me that he's not going to be attending the Met Gala in 2024. Number 7. Zayn Malik. In 2016, Zayn Malik attended the Met Gala. That year's theme was Manus Ex Machina. This was the event that saw him make a red carpet debut with his girlfriend Gigi Hadid as they became publicly official. He was dressed in a Versace suit with a metal arm, something, as it turns out, that was meant to be a meme at the event. In the past few years, Zayn has made his opinions on the Met Gala known. That opinion? Well, he hates the Met Gala. In 2016, he was wearing the metal arm as a shout out to his favorite Mortal Kombat character, Jax, the dude with the big metal arms. He finds the entire thing to be one big, hey, look at me contest. In an interview from 2018, he said that he did go, but it wasn't to be serious, it was literally just to make fun of the entire thing. This might be why in the past his girlfriend Gigi has attended by herself. He understands why people may enjoy the show, but it's just not for him. While he is not banned from attending, the chances that he's gonna change his mind pretty unlikely. Number 6. Tina Fey. Tina Fey, the creator of the upcoming Mean Girls reboot, not marketed as a musical, is a very public advocate for not attending the Met Gala. She only attended the event once in her entire career, and it was apparently just terrible. According to an interview with David Letterman from 2015, Tina believed that the entire event was a big jerk parade. She said that she went and that it was beautiful, like the venue was insane, but there was a jerk from every walk of life wearing something ridiculous. She told Letterman it was just exhausting and uncomfortable the entire time. You walk up a set of massive steps, and she went ahead and dragged her husband along with her to the event, something that she is apparently still in trouble for to this day. Tina Fey will not be attending this year's gala. In case you were unaware, she's too busy promoting Mean Girls the Musical, a modern adaptation of her original film from 20 years ago. Yeah, Yeah, Mean Girls is a 20-year-old movie. Do you feel old yet? I had the chance to see it on stage in Toronto, and I am a strong advocate for this movie. Go check it out. It's great. No one paid me to say that. Tina Fey is just fantastic, and it features the original cast, so that's pretty cool. Number 5, Jonah Hill. Jonah was once the funniest man in town, shifting his efforts to the world of drama and creating a career that allowed him to be in both. Unfortunately for any fans of Jonah, some info came out this year that called his character into question. Reminder, this isn't my opinion, okay? These are just things that happened in the world and are public knowledge. An ex-girlfriend of Jonah's posted screenshots from past conversations, and the conversations ranged from Jonah asking her just to tone down the photos that she was posting on Instagram to asking her to not do her job. For those of you who don't know, his ex Sarah was a surfing instructor, and Jonah was asking her to not surf with men while she was working and that she should wear more than a bikini while she did so. When Sarah released these screenshots, she underlined them, calling Jonah a narcissistic misogynist, but also claimed she didn't want to ruin anyone's reputation, so I'm not really sure what happened there. Since the messages have been released, there's been a massive online debate as to where Jonah stands in the eyes of the public. Some feel that canceling him entirely is just a bit much, and that compared to some of the other scandals in Hollywood, especially from this past year, Jonah is relatively chill. Others want his name wiped from the face of the earth, never to be heard from again. Give and take. Okay, I personally have no horse in this race, but something tells me that Jonah's not going to be attending the Met Gala in 2024 just to be safe. Number 4, Jared Leto. Last year's Met Gala saw a slew of fashionistas taking the stage, celebrities dressed left and right in their best and brightest. Jared did something a bit different. Now, last year was a celebration of the fashion designer Karl Lagerfeld, and be mad at me all you want for mispronouncing his name, okay? It doesn't change anything. Not only was it a Karl theme, but his cat as well. The cat part was taken a bit too seriously by a few people. Doja Cat appeared in prosthetics and diamonds, Lil Nas was painted silver and made to look like a big sparkly cat, but it was Jared that made a staple. He showed up wearing a full cat costume, looking like a mascot for the Met Gala. It featured large blue eyes, and for the first few minutes, no one really knew if it was actually Jared underneath the mask, so when he took it off, the response was positive. Jared is welcome to attend the 2024 red carpet, but he has been warned to not cover his face this time around, as it was a bit of a security nightmare. The theme for this year is Sleeping Beauty's reawakening fashion, so for all we know, Jared's gonna show up in a clear plastic coffin or something. Number 3, Kanye West. Kanye's actually been banned from attending Met Galas many times in the past. Since the early days of the 2010s, Kanye has slowly turned himself into a social pariah. Of course, we all know about the anti-Semitic tweets, the political jazz, and all that stuff, but behind the scenes, even worse things were going down. Fashion-wise, there is a chance that Kanye is being left out this year because of his shoes. I'm sorry, Yeezys look weird to me, okay? Yeah, I know, that's an unpopular opinion. Granted, I have very little fashion sense, so take that with a grain of salt. Kanye has been banned from several events and venues across the globe. There are even full countries that this man is unwelcome to step foot into. The fact that the Met Gala does not want him to attend is no surprise. Kanye is slowly building up a reputation as a good dad and a good man again, but who knows what will really go down with Kanye this year. Number 2, Lily Reinhart. During the Met Gala in 2022, Lily spoke out about the extreme diet that Kim Kardashian did in order to fit into her dress, which was once worn by Marilyn Monroe. Now, while chatting with W Magazine, she said that attending the Met Gala was fun, but after going again this year, she didn't think that she was going to be invited back. She said a certain something about a certain person in a certain dress, and let's just say the media did not enjoy that. Now, while people don't enjoy being commented about in the press, Kim Kardashian especially did not enjoy it. When people speak about you in the press, it needs to be a true representation about how you feel, and she said that whether she had 100 followers or 100 million followers, Lily criticized it wouldn't make much of a difference to her night. Lily criticized Kim's extreme diet and said to openly admitting to starve yourself for the sake of the Met Gala when you know very well the millions of young men and women will be looking up to you is a terrible thing to do. The ignorance is otherworldly and disgusting, which is true. That's the reason that a lot of people took issue with what Kim Kardashian did at the Met Gala that year. The controversy was not only about the fact that she lost weight to get into a dress, it was about the fact that she gave a lengthy interview about it and tried to make it seem like a good thing. Number 1, Jamila Jamil. In October of last year, the actress called out the Met Gala for their 2023 theme, which celebrated Karl Lagerfeld, Linger, who cares? She wrote that this man was indeed supremely talented, but used his platform in such a distinctly hateful way, mostly towards women, so repeatedly and up until the last years of his life. He showed no remorse, offering no atonement, no apology, no help to the groups, nothing, no explanation for the cruel outbursts. Is just not a great guy. People who are in same orientation couples, who wanted to adopt people. She's not a great person, okay? Jamila went on to list the ways in which she believes that Karl was problematic and helpful to certain social movements. She said, why is it that this is the man that we celebrate when there are amazing designers out there who aren't bigoted white men? What happened to everyone's principles and advocacy? You don't get to stand for justice in these areas and then attend the celebration of someone who revealed his own public disdain for marginalized people. However you characterize the German fashion designer, it's true that this year's event will honor him. Apart from being a fashion legend, he was also known as someone who tells it like it is, even if that brought about controversy. I don't know. Karl sounds like a pretty bad dude, and I don't understand why we celebrated that. Number 10. Kanye West. There are so many reasons that this man is banned from ever attending another VMA show in his entire life. We could just chalk it up to him literally being a cuckoo. After all, he was fired from basically every company that he worked for after posting some really bad tweets that I will not get into at this time. But the reality is that Kanye was banned in the mid-2010s following several public mishaps, as well as one on stage that is still talked about to this day. The incident took place in 2009 when Taylor Swift attempted to accept her award for Best Female Artist of the Year. Kanye stormed the stage and took the mic from her hand. He told her that he was gonna let her finish, but that Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time! Taylor still jokes about the incident to this day. While she was in Mexico City during her Eras tour, she took the stage to play her piano when the crowd started chanting her name, and she said that having someone interrupting you by chanting your name is the best way to be interrupted, and she should know. Kanye was issued a ban from the following year, but he has since received a lifetime ban and will only be watching the VMAs from a seedy internet website. Number 9. DaBaby. The rapper formerly known as Baby Jesus, yes that is true, has always had a bad boy streak in the music industry. He's known for dropping some pretty choice expletives on stage basically all the time, and even makes fun of his fans right to their faces. This unfortunately culminated in him deciding that it was appropriate to joke about a certain disease that is unnecessarily linked to the gay community. On stage, he told his fans that if you didn't show up with it today, or any other gnarly STIs, then put your cell phones in the air. He said a lot of weird stuff before saying the words put your phones in the air, like he was playing a weird massive game of Guess Who. Alright, if you have brown hair, put your cell phone in the air! Of course, he was torn to shreds by the LGBTQ+ community, including icons like Elton John, Madonna, and one of his collaborators, Dua Lipa. Not only was he cancelled by his fans, but he was actually set to release a clothing line with fashion brand Boohoo Man, but they backed out following the public outcry. To top it all off, two of his biggest performances set to take place at Lollapalooza and a concert in Atlanta, Georgia, were cancelled amid the flurry of complaint calls and emails that the venues were receiving. MTV has left his name off of their list of attendees this year, and DaBaby has yet to issue a public response to this ban, but we can imagine that it's a cautionary ban at this point. Number 8. NSYNC. Alright, this is not a ban, but I just wanted to talk about the absolute snub that took place at this year's ceremony. One of the original boy bands, NSYNC, reunited for the first time in so many years, and many fans were excited to see them back on the roster. Joey Fatone, Lance Bass, Justin Timberlake, JC Chazes, and Chris Kirkpatrick took the stage in front of a roaring audience. The legends together again, ready to do a show that would surely go down in history. But instead of doing the thing that they were famous for, they presented an award as a group. Why? Why'd you do that, MTV? That's like putting a guitar in Ozzy Osbourne's hand and asking him to take an eye exam.
What's this guitar for then? I'm the Prince of Big E, Big L.
It was honestly one of the most disappointing things about the evening. The show overall was pretty solid, albeit with a bit of a rocky start thanks to a little stunt from Olivia Rodrigo, but still solid. These guys should have done something, even if they just sang happy birthday or something even simpler. Instead, they presented Taylor Swift with Best Pop Video, and she went nuts. That wouldn't be the only time Taylor took the stage, winning half the awards that she was nominated for. Hey, they can't give her all of them, that'd be suspicious. Again, I know they weren't banned for being there, but it feels like like they were banned from singing, and I will never forgive that. Number 7, Miley Cyrus. Miley and the VMAs are like bread and butter. They make such a delicious combo. They're so good. She was put on thin ice though in 2013 after performing a more X-rated rendition of her hit We Can't Stop that was just kind of mashed together with Robin Thicke's summer smash, Blurred Lines. Yeah, that is a very weird combination, and even weirder was what Miley did during that song, Too Thick. While singing his song, Miley starts to shake what her mama gave her, creating a dance craze that literally shook the nation. There were bums flying everywhere. There still are to this day. While the performance was against their guidelines, it brought in millions of views. So they decided to offer her a gig as the host 2 years later in 2015. She did not do great, dropping F-bombs left and right and appearing in some outlandish and very revealing clothes that literally looked like they could burst at any moment. Following the gig, she was slapped with a temporary ban until things blowed over between herself and the host of this year's VMAs, Nicki Minaj. Number 6, Russell Brand. The comedian turned actor Russell Brand may be best known for his role as Aldous Snow in Get Him to the Greek, and Forgetting Sarah Marshall, or for his musical chops with the real fake band Infant Sorrow. What many people may not know about the Brand Man is that the VMAs were actually his guilty pleasure for quite some time. Russell was a regular audience member, and eventually he was asked to attend as a full-fledged host. The hosting gig has been debated by fans as being both great for his career and a career ender. He decided to take time away from the artists, and he joked about the American president at the time, Barack Obama, and the former president, George W. Bush. He said a lot of stuff that I'm not allowed to repeat on the internet, literally calling Barack Obama another word for mentally challenged, and another one that means cat. Following his time as a host, MTV decided he may not be the best fit for their program. The VMAs are supposed to be a fun night celebrating the most talented artists around, and instead Russell turned it into a political stand-up routine. Number 5, Janet Jackson. In 2004, a wardrobe malfunction shook the world, because hey, it was 2004, nothing crazy really happened. Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson were performing together at the VMAs when Justin accidentally exposed Janet's left chest to the audience. According to Justin's team, he was only meant to remove a rubber part of the costume to reveal a red-laced bra, but something went wrong. MTV released a statement claiming the situation was unrehearsed, unplanned, and inconsistent with assurances that they had about the content of the performance. They claimed that they had no idea that this was even happening until the very last minute. In fact, for some reason, Janet received the most backlash from the event when it was Justin that actually exposed her to the crowd. Janet released a public apology, basically absolving MTV of any wrongdoing, but Justin's was just a little bit harder to watch. We don't have to get into it right now. It's just so cringy, it's so great. Despite the apologies and acknowledgments of wrongdoing, MTV banned Miss Jackson from ever appearing in any future shows as a performer. Number 4, Will Smith. Now I know what you're thinking, and yes, Will Smith is still considered to be a part of the music world, because for a long time, he was a regular attendee at the Video Music Awards, even taking home a few trophies in the late 1990s. Will Smith is of course banned from attending not just the VMAs, but most award shows in general after his little snafu at the Oscars. Now, if you don't know what happened between Will Smith and Chris Rock at the Oscars in 2022, then you must have literally been living under a rock for the past year. I'll just summarize it with this. Keep my wife's name out of your mouth. That's it. The list of people who have lifetime bans from the Video Music Awards is fairly short, but Will has the honor of being the latest addition to the roster. While he is no musician these days, although I'm sure he still attempts to be, just look at his house, there's no way there is not a studio somewhere in that thing. It's surprising to see how many companies have just outright banned this dude. Even Nickelodeon won't have him on their stage. This man is banned from getting slimed. Legend, wait for it? Dairy. Let's not put that in the video, that's lame. Number 3, Andrew Dice Clay. MTV was really rolling the dice when they asked this guy to come on stage. Get it? Because he's got dice in his risky, and I'm sorry, that was very uncalled for. The Dice Man is very well known for being a stand-up comedian that does not shy away from X-rated material. If you think Jack and Jill went up a hill to fetch a pail of water, you are in for a surprise. When he took to the stage at the VMAs in 1989, he delivered his signature brand, debuting 2 of his infamous dirty nursery rhymes that I would love to quote, but I will butcher them and this video will be removed from the internet. To make matters worse, he added a few choice words that were specific specifically thrown on a list of no words not safe for live TV. Following the show, he was issued a lifetime ban that stands to this day, because that's what lifetime means. Since 1989, his career has not skyrocketed. In fact, you probably only recognize him as Lady Gaga's dad in A Star Is Born, and only from that. It's no surprise that MTV has forgotten about the entire thing at this point. Hell, they won't even bother repealing anything or taking it back, because what would be the point? At this point, he would just be a really cool audience member. Number 2, Morgan Wallen. Morgan Wallen was making it big before a big misstep in 2020 landed him in handcuffs. According to fellow musician Kid Rock, Wallen was arrested outside of his establishment in Nashville, Tennessee for having a bit too much no-no juice and getting into a physical altercation. While being taken out of the building, he was breaking glasses and shouting some very harsh words, but that wasn't the only thing that he did that landed him in hot water that year. As many should know, 2020 was a year that we kinda skipped being told to stay in our homes and whatnot, but much like many rich people out there, Morgan decided to ignore that order and just kinda do his own thing. He was photographed having a wonderful time with some friends without a care in the world. Well, he really should have cared, because the following week he was supposed to perform on Saturday Night Live, but he was asked not to attend. The final nail that saw him cancelled from attending most awards shows, including the VMAs, was a video that surfaced of him using racial slurs. The video went viral and his career quickly came to a pause. His music was pulled from radio stations, he was dropped from his record label while they tried to figure out the best way to handle the situation, and eventually he issued an apology, but it wasn't enough to get his name removed from the no-no list. And at number 1, Fart Man. If you've never heard of this superhero, good, let's keep it that way. Fart Man was a character developed by Howard Stern while still working for the National Lampoon. National was a magazine that eventually morphed into a radio production house and film studio. They're the people who made movies like the Vacation series, Van Wilder, and so many more. Following the end of the radio show at Lampoon, Howard decided to use the character on his own radio show. He claimed that people loved it, so much so that he decided to devote his time and efforts to develop a Fart Man movie. In 1992, he appeared at the Video Music Awards in what can only be described as the worst and most revealing superhero costume on the planet. This man looks worse than Halle Berry in Catwoman. His rear was exposed through holes in his pants, and as you may expect, this man is just all hair, so it was not a very pretty sight. Not only did he make people feel uncomfortable off stage, but on stage it was so much worse. As part of a stunt/intro to an award, he was lowered down onto the stage via wires, exposing everything to the audience. The movie never got made, the entire crowd was scarred for life, and MTV slapped him with a lifetime ban.
So starting off our list today at number 10, we have Rachel Zegler. Sometimes it's probably better to stay quiet about certain issues, and that was definitely the case when it comes to Rachel Zegler. So if you don't recall, just before last year's ceremony, Rachel would find herself not being invited to the show, and in the process she went on to shade the Academy for it. Eventually the Academy wanted to make things right, so they asked her to join presenter Jacob Elordi on the stage. However, once she got on the stage, she decided to shade the Academy once more by saying, "Dreams do come true," really fast. Her comment was definitely a reference to her post that she made just a week before the show when she responded to a fan who said, "Can't wait to see what you'll be wearing to the Oscars." Rachel then responded by saying, "I'm not invited, so sweatpants and my boyfriend's flannel." After an outcry spread across social media, the actor would explain that she tried every method possible to score a ticket, but she was unsuccessful. Well, at least she did make it to the show, but that will probably be the last show she can attend for a while. Number 9, Chris Rock. You know, Chris Rock probably should have scored himself a ticket to this year's Oscar ceremony if he just did one thing: be a better man and let everything in the past remain in the past. After a year of remaining silent about the incident that occurred in 2022, he has finally opened up about the incident, and I'm going to be honest, his comments should have come right away. Coming a complete year after the incident occurred is uncalled for and just a little bit childish, especially since he's chosen to take the high road for so long, and now everything just seems a little too calculated and not right. And if the Oscars wants to eliminate any drama from this year's show, they should be asking Chris Rock not to attend. In preparation for Chris Rock's upcoming special on Netflix, the comedian is set to talk about the incident that dominated much of the headlines last year. According to Wall Street Journal, the comedian's references how much it hurt, and he also posted pokes fun at Will Smith when he quipped, even in animated movies, "I'm a zebra and he's an effing shark." But to make fun of the incident isn't really funny, and Will had to even go through therapy, so this just isn't okay, and Chris should honestly just do better. Hey my little peaches, are you liking this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Number 8. Russell Crowe. Even though Russell Crowe is an Oscar-winning actor, director, and musician, we probably won't be seeing him at this year's Grammys ceremony. And it's not really surprising, as Russell's temper has made more than a few headlines over the years, and since nobody really knows if the actor can truly behave himself, as the actor's temper has landed him in hot water, he ended up getting a felony charge for it. So Russell's temper has had a reputation for years, as he has a tendency to take things a little too far, and his reputation has now earned him a reputation as an actor who is difficult to work with. So back in 2004, Russell's behavior would completely be out of hand after he got riled up in a hotel lobby, and he ended up injuring a clerk behind the lobby desk. Then in 2016, Azealia Banks even filed a police report accusing Russell's violence to be excessive, as he once spit on her. And back in 2002, he even shoved Malcolm Gary against a wall and cursed him out because of his acceptance speech being cut too short. So why would the Academy risk inviting someone who could cause another Chris Rock and Will Smith altercation? Number 7. Ben Affleck. Well, it's definitely not the Academy banning Ben Affleck from the ceremony this year, but it's most likely Jennifer Lopez trying to protect her husband from any more gloomy memes. As let's not forget, when we all sat down to watch the Grammys a couple weeks ago, Ben was captured a couple times on camera looking miserable. And then when we thought it couldn't get any worse, we then all saw J-Lo snap at her husband out of nowhere. But honestly, the whole show just looked like Ben was dragged to a work thing with his wife, and he truly had no interest in attending the event whatsoever. Now, with the Oscars just around the corner, J-Lo definitely doesn't want any more people questioning her and Ben's relationship. So she's probably gonna make sure Ben stays at home and watches the ceremony in his sweatpants for this moment, as the star just appears sad and J-Lo is done with the misinterpretation. Number 6. Sean Penn. When Sean Penn decided to get a little political last year at the Grammys, it kinda has him in a hot seat, as he promised to boycott the Academy if the Ukrainian president wasn't part of the show's program. But this hasn't been the actor's first controversial moment, as back in 2022 he doubled down on his comments that made fun of feminine men. When he sat down in an interview with The Independent, he would tell the newspaper, "I am in the club that believes that men in American culture have been widely feminized. I don't think that being a brute or having insensitivity or disrespect for women is anything to do with masculinity, or ever did. But I don't think in order to be fair to women, we should become them." When Sean was then asked to clarify his comments, he would then say, "I think men have, in my view, become quite feminized. I have these strong women in my life who do not take masculinity as a sign of oppression towards them. And with how the world is changing, the Academy just shouldn't allow people who don't adapt to change and accept others for who they are." Number 5. Morgan Freeman. In 2018, it would be brought to light that a young production assistant thought she had landed the job of her dreams when in the summer of 2015, she started working on Going in Style, a bank heist comedy starring Morgan Freeman. But the job then quickly developed into several months of harassment. She then later told CNN that Morgan subjected her to unwanted touching and comments about her figure and clothes on a near daily basis. She also claimed that Morgan constantly would rest his hands on her lower back or rub her lower back, and in one incident he even tried to pull up her skirt. And it said that Morgan's inappropriate behavior was not limited to that one movie set, because according to sources who spoke with CNN, a woman who was a senior member of the production staff of the movie Now You See Me in 2012 claimed that her and her female assistant on numerous occasions were approached by Morgan, who solicited comments about their bodies. And considering what happened last year, the Academy definitely wants a show that's quiet and no one really talks about, so we probably won't be seeing Morgan Freeman there this year. Number 4. Ricky Gervais. It's clear that Ricky Gervais will never be a host for the Oscars, as he's too much of a risk, even with the comedian himself revealing that he would never host the esteemed film award show because he wouldn't be allowed to do what he wanted. Now, Ricky has hosted the Golden Globes 5 times now, but he knows the rules would be very different for the Oscars, and he's just not interested in doing so, as he knows he would find himself being cancelled halfway through the show like other celebrities have. He continued to go on to say, "They'd never let me do what I wanted. That's why the Globes got me. They said I can write my own jokes, say what I want, no rehearsal. The Oscars would never. And if the Oscars said that, then I'd do it, but that would never happen. But they certainly let Chris Rock do it, so honestly it's probably best for Ricky to stay away from the mic and the show, as he might get a little controversial if he was invited. Number 3, Chris Brown. Back in 2022, Chris Brown revealed the reason behind him not attending any award shows anytime soon, and that's because the Academy has banned him from being in attendance to any type of show going forward. The R&B superstar revealed that he's been banned from award shows, and he even made a revelation about it while he was sharing a video to his Instagram from one of his concerts in New Mexico, saying that he would have quit the industry a long time ago if it wasn't for his fans. But do you even have a lot of fans left to begin with? Despite his ability to sell out concerts not in Canada or America, may I add, not only will the Academy not let him attend the ceremony, but he is also not allowed to perform due to his violent behavior. Let's face it, he only got a Grammy nomination this year, not because his album was popping off, it was because the Grammys didn't want to deal with his wild outbursts from the star if he didn't receive a nomination in the first place, because the world still isn't over what he did to Rihanna and the other woman following. Number 2, Quentin Tarantino. When news broke that Quentin Tarantino convinced Uma Thurman into driving an unsafe car during the filming of Kill Bill, which resulted in a crash, the director would soon call it the biggest regret of his life. Soon after, reports soon started to come saying not only that, but that he also spat on Thurman during filming, and he even had a pretty physical altercation with her, and it said he also did the same thing to Diane Kruger in a scene in Inglourious Basterds. And with it, many people started to question whether it was time to cancel Quentin Tarantino or just not include him in the Oscars. Even with his film Once Upon a Time in Hollywood being very controversial, it provoked considerable unease as it would take on the gruesome subject following the passing of Sharon Tate, among others who fell into the hands of the Manson family. His interest in violence against women is just so strange and unusual, and by celebrating it, it would just be wrong. And coming in at number 1 today, we have Seth MacFarlane. If you watched the Oscars back in 2013, then you know the whole night was just a total call-off. Now, to have Seth MacFarlane host the Oscars, it was pretty shocking to begin with due to his animated show being pretty controversial. The Academy should have known that the night would have been pretty controversial to begin with. But with saying that, I don't think any of us saw the show being turned into complete misogyny after Seth decided he was going to prove that he could sing in his opening number. But with it, he did it in such a controversial way, as the comedian went on to showcase the most misogynistic song in history that he called "We Saw Your Chest," which named actresses who have stripped down for on-screen roles, mentioning every female from Meryl Streep to Naomi Watts. He also went on to enlist an entire choir of men to join in the rousing chorus. And if you caught the show, then you know Charlize Theron's face said it all when the cameras panned over to her and you could see her unimpressed face as she hid with her hand. To make matters even worse, he made jokes about women getting sick so they could get into shape for the awards show, as well as making Chris Brown and Rihanna jokes, which just wasn't cool, let's face it. Coming in number 10, we have Will Smith. So last year, actor Will Smith was issued a 10-year ban by the Film Academy after he disrupted the recent 94th Oscars by slapping presenter Chris Rock on the stage. The ban prohibits Smith from attending all Academy-related events, both virtual and in person, for a period of 10 years. It doesn't, however, make him ineligible for nominations at the Oscars. Smith had taken offense to a joke Chris made about his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, and he then walked up on the stage and in a shocking moment hit the comedian across the face. Less than an hour later, Will would then win the Oscar for Best Actor, and in his speech he would apologize for his fellow nominees in the Academy. A day later, he issued a public apology to Rock, and sometime after that, he announced his resignation from the Academy. The Academy would then come out with a statement and said the 94th Oscars was meant to be a celebration of many individuals in our community who did incredible work this past year. However, those moments were overshadowed by the unacceptable and harmful behavior we saw Mr. Smith exhibit on stage. The actor then went on to accept the decision, which means he will no longer be able to attend this year's ceremony as a presenter, as in the tradition of the Oscars. While the decision to expel a member isn't unheard of before it happened to Smith, there have actually been a handful of members expelled by the Academy. Coming in number 9, we have Paris Hilton. While Paris Hilton tends to be in attendance at almost every party, fashion show, and awards, even Paris Hilton reportedly was banned from attending the Oscars since 2008. And when the socialite first heard of the news, she surely wasn't happy about it, and she was actually devastated that she couldn't attend the prestigious award event, with a source claiming that Paris cried a lot when she found out she was banned from the Oscars. It would also be noticed that Paris was desperate to be taken seriously as an actress, and she hoped she would be able to network with the film bods. Word on the block is Paris even spent $2 million on a dress for the ceremony back in 2008 before she heard about her ban, which left her feeling so embarrassed to attend the Oscars after show parties, and even considering going in disguise due to her ban. She was even tempted to go to the parties afterwards but wear her trademark wig to save her dignity. Said that Paris would even find herself being snubbed from the event in a bid to prevent the event from turning into a down market scrum. Hi my little peaches, are you liking this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Coming at number 8, we have Miley Cyrus. Have you ever noticed that Miley Cyrus has been pretty much missing from all the award shows lately? Well, back in 2020, Miley would post a clip of herself from the 2013 MTV EMAs where she would be shown taking out a pre-roll from her black Chanel clutch and lighting it up on stage in the middle of her presenting duties. While sporting a bodysuit and a furry coat, she then oozed an effort amount of cool when she did the unthinkable during the show. With Miley taking a clip and posting it, she would caption the clip by saying, "Wonder why I'm not invited to award shows anymore." While the star hasn't chosen to elaborate on the video, it certainly isn't really clear if she was joking or not, but it has been some time that we've seen Miley hitting up the award shows. And it looked like her celebrity friends, like designer Alexander Wang, found the dig humorous enough. He even told the wild child to never change. Even Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Lisa would chime in to let Miley know if she ever had an award show, she would have the singer there. Whether it's true or not, we love a good Miley presenting the celebrations, as she always comes out to slay. Number 7, Kevin Spacey. After allegations made by more than 30 different individuals that Kevin Spacey had made 30 unwanted advances towards younger men, in 2017 BuzzFeed would publish allegations made by Anthony Rapp that said Kevin had made some unwanted advances towards Rapp when he was only 14. And since, more than 30 people have come forward with their own allegations against Spacey, with accounts ranging from a number of different allegations. Bringing the lawsuit to light would stand as part of a larger movement to stand up against all forms of violence. Rapp claimed that Spacey climbed on top of him at a party in New York City when he was younger. Kevin would then gladly deny Rapp's allegations, and his lawyers would create this story, in which in a large part of the made-up story would claim that Anthony was jealous of Spacey's career in the entertainment industry. And then, when more allegations started to come forward, Kevin would finally admit to his actions, but said it was okay because he was gay. Since the allegations have come forward, Kevin is now blacklisted from Hollywood, and he will no longer be allowed to attend any award shows anytime soon. Number 6, Adam Kimmel. Cinematographer Adam Kimmel is known for his work on Lars in The Real Girl. However, in 2021, Adam would find himself being expelled from the Academy following the emergence of his history after allegations came forward about his misconduct with women. Adam had been arrested twice. Both times, the allegations involved a younger female. In 2003, when he was 43 years old, he would plead guilty to making unwanted advances to a girl in New York who was around 15 and 16 years old. In 2010, Kimmel would be arrested again in Connecticut for 4th degree of unwanted advancements involving a younger person and failure to register as a SO. Due to the crimes and the hurt he inflicted on a handful of younger women, the Academy saw fit to expel Adam from the Academy and permanently place a ban on him from attending any Academy Awards. While the Academy strives on protecting the safety of their performers and guests, they couldn't guarantee that Adam wouldn't be a threat to any female in the audience, and they couldn't justify his actions and decided that he should be banned from attending the ceremonies going forward. But the fact that his crimes happened between 2003 and 2010 and the Academy still allowed him to attend the ceremonies until 2021 is actually pretty messed up. Number 5, Kevin Hart. After an old controversy from 2018 continued to dominate the headlines in 2019 after he was announced as being the host for the 2019 Academy Awards, comedian Kevin Hart publicly stepped down from his gig when a series of old homophobic tweets resurfaced. Kevin's anti-gay ideology wasn't exactly a secret before, as he devoted part of his 2010 stand-up special to describe his terror that his son would turn out to be gay and his intention to prevent it however he could. And after that year, you think Hollywood might have done some Twitter search before naming its host. And Kevin's response just hours before stepping down, he would not apologize and he would say in a video, "Guys, I'm almost 40 years old. If you don't believe that people change, grow, evolve as they get older, I don't know what to tell you. I want to hold people in a position where they always have to justify or explain the past. Then you do. I'm the wrong guy, man. I'm in a great place, a great mature place, where all I do is spread positivity." 6 hours later though, he would reconsider and he would finally step down from his hosting gig, and then he would make a formal apology to the LGBTQ community, and you probably won't see him attending any award shows anytime soon. Number 4, Pamela Anderson. Pamela Anderson is another woman banned from the Oscars like Paris Hilton in an attempt for the award ceremony to keep things more classy. Except everything about Pamela Anderson is actually pretty classy except for her R-rated tape. Sources would confirm that Pamela would be banned from attending the ceremony so the Academy officials could prevent the evening from turning into a downmarket scrum. The inside source would also continue to say that the Academy plans to focus more on those people who have worked in the film industry for years, not people who were merely celebrities in other areas. But Pamela has been in the industry since 1991 when she landed her most major acting gig on Baywatch and gave us the iconic red bathing suit look. So to say that she couldn't be at the Oscars because she wasn't in the film industry for years would just be absurd. But then other sources would come forward to say the decision to ban certain stars is down to the fact that Hollywood's Kodak Theater holds less than half the capacity of the previous venue, and even high-profile stars are struggling to secure tickets to the event. But if that's the real case, why would the Academy even think it was a good idea to downgrade their venue to one of the biggest award shows of the year? Number 3, Carmine Carditi. The Godfather star Carmine Carditi was banned from the Oscars after he was summoned by the FBI. While Carmine's strength as an actor got him steady work for many years, eventually earning him his membership in the Academy. As a member, he was actually pretty inappropriate to viewers. Eventually, trouble would come to town when Russell Prague visited Chicago and was introduced to Carmine by another member of the Godfather Part 3 cast. When Carmine mentioned that he was able to watch screeners for the latest film, Russell was somehow able to talk him into sharing these screeners with him. As part of Carmine's agreement with the Academy, this was not allowed. Even so, Carmine decided to still go along with it as he wanted to share his privileged position with a friend. This would work out well for time, but things quickly began to spiral out of control when the FBI got involved. Rather than a harmless movie fan Carmine thought Russell was, he actually turned out to be one of the most notorious film pirates in the country. Instead of watching the movies, he would copy them and distribute them to the internet. With both men being taken in by the FBI, Carmine would find himself being sued by Columbia Pictures and Warner Brothers, and he would become the first person ever banned from the Academy. Number 2, Roman Polanski. Movie director Roman Polanski would end up being expelled from the Academy of Motion Pictures, Arts, and Sciences over charges of unwanted advances on younger women. Back in August of 2020, Roman would lose a court bid to be reinstated as a member. Roman, who won an Oscar in 2003, would be banned by the Academy in May 2018 because of a long-standing criminal case which dates all the way back to 1977. The director then argued in a civil lawsuit he was denied by the Academy when it decided to expel him under a code of conduct drawn up in response to his unwanted advancement misconduct allegations against dozens in the entertainment industry. The Los Angeles Superior Court Judge Mary H. Strobel wrote in a ruling that Polanski was given the opportunity to present any evidence he deemed relevant to the Academy, including a lengthy brief from his attorney and a video statement. While Roman has continued to deny his misconduct, he did win an Oscar in 2003 for The Pianist. But I think we were all pleased when the court confirmed that the Academy's procedure to ban him from the awards ceremony was both fair and reasonable. And coming in at number 1 today, we have Britney Spears. Britney Spears has found herself being barred from the Oscars since 2005, and since she's even been banned from attending all the celebrity-filled pre-Oscar parties. While Britney has been desperate to dress up and snare an invite to one of several glitzy bashes that are happening across LA, she's been met with a stony and embarrassing silence from the organizers. Britney is definitely still a big name in Hollywood, and a lot of people in town know her for all the wrong reasons. While the Oscars has chosen to snub her from pretty much anything. They claim it's because she's a car crash waiting to happen, and organizers don't want to take the risk of her showing up and creating a scene. With every celebrity battling to secure the most high-profile guest, Britney is being seen as a gamble no one wants to take, with one source saying her presence at any party would instantly generate lots of publicity, but while it's tempting to send out an invite, it's a hassle they don't really want. There's also still been a mounting concern among fellow A-listers of Britney's mental health, and they feel like the parties would still be too much for Britney and her fragile state might just tip her over the edge if she was to attend. While Britney was definitely devastated over the snubs, she definitely has a lot to look forward to as she's back in the studio creating some major bangers. Coming in at number 10 today, we have Miss Finland. Beauty contestant model Miss Finland, commonly known as Erica Helen, has claimed that she was kicked out of a restaurant because of her inappropriate outfit. Erica, who has competed in numerous national modeling contests, said a jerk of a security guard booted her from a restaurant because of her attire. After Erica claims her outfit in question featured her wearing a bralette top, which she paired with a black miniskirt, heels, and a matching bag, Erica was in the restaurant focusing on a good-natured conversation with her friends when the security guard suddenly approached her table to take her out of the restaurant, and he told her she had to leave. When Erica gathered her stuff and walked out of the bar without objecting in any way, the security guard started to criticize her outfit of choice. While Erica noticed that she could have just grabbed another shirt from a store if the outfit was pointed out right away, she also said in her opinion it is contradicting to even take in a customer if the outfit is not suitable, and that it's no longer appropriate to change your minds after and humiliate the customer in the process. While it still remains a mystery to why the security guard behaved so aggressively with her, Erica felt really threatened by the whole situation. While the manager of the restaurant has come out to make amends with her, he's also guaranteed that he will retrain his staff on how to handle this situation better next time. And number 9, Britney Spears. In 2007, Britney Spears would find herself in a throw of prolonged and public episodes of apparent mental health breakdowns. And in one of them, she made a spectacle of smearing food across her face in a restaurant in Los Angeles. Other diners present, including fellow pop diva Victoria Beckham, mentioned to the staff that Britney was acting really strange when she started to play dress up with her dinner. Eventually, the staff intervened and escorted Britney from her table and outside of the restaurant hotel, and she would then be informed that she was no longer welcome on the hotel grounds. While her sin wasn't her behavior itself, it was because of her unapologetic nature of her behavior that really didn't sit well with the restaurant staff. Her restrictions, however, were finally lifted after Spears cleaned herself up and agreed to follow the dress code of not playing dress up with her food, as she was pictured celebrating her 28th birthday there 2 years after the incident occurred. While no one really knows the reason behind Britney's breakdown, it's been hinted that if you want to get away with certain actions at Chateau Marmont, then you have to be really mum about your antics, and if you get caught, you have to be playfully vague about it. However, noting that there was absolutely no way Britney could have gotten away with playing dress up with her food, especially since she was saying it was so good while doing it. Hey Peaches, are you enjoying this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And number 8, Rita Ora. After gathering too much attention from a selection of revealing outfits, Rita Ora was reportedly banned from wearing anything too risky on future episodes of The Voice if she wanted to stay on the show. According to The Sun, the singer was ordered by BBC bosses in 2015 who are said to have frowned upon her outfits that included a nipple-bearing sheer top, a shirt that had a graphic image of breast, and while promoting her debut on The Voice ahead of the season that year, she attracted complaints when she appeared on The One Show in a deep plunging top. While the bosses didn't really get involved when viewers complained about the revealing suit, they did feel like the t-shirt was too close to the mark and her see-through top took her right over the top. However, while Rita agreed to sport a tamer look, she would state that she wasn't going to dress like a nun because that wasn't her style. And number 7, Miley Cyrus. Miley Cyrus would find herself banned from the cover of US Vogue following her raunchy VMA performance with Robin Thicke back in 2013. While the singer had already posed for the December cover, Anna Wintour decided to axe her shoot. With Anna finding the whole performance extremely distasteful, she decided that based on Miley's VMA's performance to take the cover in a different direction. The high-profile editor was at first behind Miley taking the prestigious cover and was eager for the shoot to go ahead. While it makes sense that Miley would be the cover of the issue since it was coming out in October at the same time her album was coming out, after she had another wardrobe malfunction in Paris, she could kiss her cover goodbye. When Miley was spotted out posing for photographers, shoulders. Despite making another wardrobe malfunction for the paparazzi, Miley would then lift her arm to wave at fans waiting outside when her top slipped down. Not only did she not have a problem with her wardrobe malfunction, however, Anna Wintour would think differently, and she would then go on to cancel Miley's issue from appearing that year. And number 6, Beyonce. From music royalty to a powerful businesswoman, Beyonce is a household name with superstar status. While being one of the most famous women in the world, she too has even had some controversial moments. While it's not uncommon for celebrities to be banned from other countries due to their publicized actions, it may come as a surprise to some in the Beehive that Beyonce is one of them. When Malaysia issued a ban on Beyonce from ever touring, performing, or entering the country with the country's strict Muslim leadership, Beyonce would be deemed too sexy for Malaysia. Beyonce was scheduled to perform in Malaysia in 2007, but due to her inappropriate outfit concerns, it would lead to her ban and she would have to cancel her performance in the country. According to a BBC report, female performers at Malaysian concerts are required by government rules to cover up from shoulders to knees and have no cleavage showing. Since Beyonce is known for her confidence and sexy performance, it was understandable to why the country thought it was a good idea to ban her. However, it was kind of ridiculous to have such strict and permanent ban for a celebrity who was most likely going to follow the country rules so she wouldn't offend anyone. And number 5, Janet Jackson. In 2004, Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake formed during the Super Bowl halftime show. During the performance, Janet had a wardrobe malfunction after Justin pulled a part of her outfit down. The moment would then become a huge controversy. While both singers apologized for the incident, Jackson would be banned from attending the 2004 Grammy Awards. While Justin, on the other hand, was able to attend the show that year and he was able to issue an additional apology at the event. While Janet has apologized by saying the decision to have my costume revealed at the end of my halftime show performance was made after the final rehearsal, MTV was completely unaware of it. It was not my intention for it to go as far as it did. I apologize to anyone I offended, including the audience, MTV, CBS, and the NFL. Janet was also so heavily punished for her accidental wardrobe malfunction because they did not believe that the wardrobe malfunction was an accident. While both Justin and Janet were both initially banned from the Grammys, Justin would be allowed to perform at the Grammys after he had a tearful apology for the incident. As a result, Janet, for not taking sole responsibility for the incident, was ordered. Viacom Properties and MTV and all Viacom-owned radio stations had to stop playing Janet's songs and music videos. The fallout of the event then drastically affected Janet's career. And number 4, Nikita Dragun. While Nikita Dragun was on vacation in Miami back in November, what was meant to be a chill vacation would result in Nikita finding herself being arrested at the Good Time Hotel. In a police report obtained by TMZ, it would describe a chaotic scene in which Nikita was walking around the pool wearing no clothes. After the staff repeatedly asked her to put on clothes, Nikita would opt to pour water on the hotel workers instead. Later, after police responded to the phone call, they would head to Nikita's hotel room where she would then pour water on them as well, and this would lead to her arrest. While Nikita was being held at a male jail until her bail was set at $2,000 by a judge in court, her placement was really controversial because Nikita is legally a woman and being held in a prison housed with only men was a clear violation of her human rights. Upon being released, she would then be set to appear back in Miami court again in December, and she was only allowed to go back to the Good Time Hotel to collect her things alongside of a supervising officer. Due to Nikita disobeying the hotel's dress code and refusing to follow their instruction, she would also find herself permanently banned from the hotel. And number 3, Lady Gaga. Now, Lady Gaga has a knack for attracting attention, and sometimes it's because of her very controversial costume choices. When Lady Gaga was touring Asia in 2012, she chose not to tone down her show despite some of the country's protests. With there being only a minor opposition, Gaga would find her Born This Way tour show being cancelled in Indonesia by national police after they refused her a permit for what they called safety reasons. The police would then say her outfits are too sexy, indulgent, and erotic. It's said that the move to refuse Gaga's permit is thought to be in response to a protest by the National Council, the top Islamic body in Indonesia. While the police itself had no problem with Lady Gaga, the Islamic Defenders Front political organization claimed that Gaga's dance moves were vulgar and it would corrupt young people, and they even threatened to deploy 30,000 members to physically prevent Lady Gaga from getting off the plane. Although much of Indonesia is politically moderate, the Islamic Defenders front has become increasingly vocal, and they even thank the police for banning Lady Gaga's show. With human rights groups seeing this move as a dangerous step back from the country, they have even expressed concern. And the show's promoter expressed sadness that the country was not mature enough to be able to separate their own moral values from the arts and culture. And number 2, Kendall Jenner. In 2014, Kendall Jenner's risky Marc Jacobs runway appearance during the New York City Fashion Week would officially be banned from Instagram after the reality TV star strutted down the Marc Jacobs runway with her top half exposed amid the backlash would result in Instagram to remove the image from the photograph sharing website. With the photo violating Instagram's guidelines, Kim first tried posting Kendall's picture to her Instagram after she noticed Instagram deleted the photos. She would say, "Can Instagram just delete your photos?" Maybe Kendall Jenner was too hot for Instagram. While both Kim and Khloe both posted the photographs of their sister's top half fully exposed without an undergarment on the Marc Jacobs runway, one fan attempted to explain the backlash that Kendall's outfit was receiving by saying, "We're not hating Khloe, she just needs to cover up, she doesn't need to dress like that." And Khloe responded to the tweet by saying it's a fashion show, she doesn't choose. Many fans found it even quite weird that even Kris Jenner posted the picture, as if any of us posted a picture like that, I don't think any of our mothers would have been proud of our risky behavior being displayed for the whole world to see on a site that children use. While the photo would go on to be banned on Instagram, it seems like Instagram would then start to be more strict about the content that you can post on its platform. And coming in at number 1 today, we have Bruce Springsteen. Bruce Springsteen and his E Street Band guitarist would find themselves being thrown out of Disneyland in 1983 after they were caught violating the park's dress code. According to the memoirs written by both musicians, the E Street entourage would find themselves thrown out of Disneyland after they refused to remove their bandanas that they were wearing. Bruce wrote in his Born to Run autobiography that the Disneyland security team was extremely worried that Bruce and his guitarist, Steven, would be misidentified as a gang member if they didn't remove their bandanas. While both were shouting, "We're out of here," Bruce would recall shouting, "We're going to Knott's Berry Farm." However, they couldn't even get into Knott's either due to the same reason. In a letter Steven wrote in 1983, he would say, "At Disneyland, enforcing this ridiculous law is also an attack on the rock and music and all the people who believe in it. They're telling me nobody rocks in the Magic Kingdom. Nobody expresses their individuality in the Magic Kingdom except maybe the guy in the rodent suit. It is time to boycott Disney until the vague and unfair dress code they enforce is abolished once and for all." However, even today it seems like you just can't wear anything to Disneyland, as they'll turn you around and ask you to buy clothes from one of their many expensive shops.
Number 10, Meryl Streep. The iconic and one of the most beloved stars in Hollywood, Meryl Streep has actually never been to the Met Gala. Likely due to her track record, I doubt the invites have kept coming every year. Although she's a regular at award shows and routinely makes appearances at the Academy Awards and Grammys, she has never graced the red carpet at Anna Wintour's event. That isn't exactly all that surprising, however, because outside of award shows, she's only ever really made appearances to promote a film or television series that she started. Meryl Streep keeps a notoriously private life and prefers to spend the rest of her time out of the limelight, so it seems like an event that celebrates fashion rather than something that would have been seen as a work event would be deemed as unnecessary by her. Number 9, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. It cannot be argued that Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith aren't famous enough to walk the stairs at the Met Gala, so why then have they never been? It's apparent that they love the limelight, given how often they're in the news and how controversial they are as a pair. Their children, Willow Smith and Jaden Smith, have attended, however, none of the family members attended this year. I would absolutely not be surprised if Anna Wintour, the creator of the event and notoriously strict personality, deliberately did not extend an invitation towards the family after Will's embarrassing Oscars fiasco this year. Anna Wintour is the real-life person behind Meryl Streep's iconic character in The Devil Wears Prada, so it's no surprise that she would want absolutely zero nonsense on her stage, and she may have sided with the Academy in this scenario. Likely though, even if the Met Gala had extended invitations to the family, I doubt they would have attended, as Will Smith has kept an extremely low profile since he slapped Chris Rock. He hasn't even posted to any of his social media since it happened, outside of the apology to Chris that seems to have gone unheard. Number 8, Paris Hilton. I was absolutely shocked when I found out that Paris Hilton has never attended the Met Gala. She is the OG socialite. The Kardashians wish they were her. So why has she not been to the massive event that celebrates one of her favorite things, fashion? While I sadly do not have the answer to that question, I think, safely assume that it's because she hasn't been invited. I mean, I am pretty well sure that if she had been invited, she definitely would have attended. I mean, she is a socialite after all. It's not that she's not relevant either. Although she did kind of stay out of the news for a few years, she's back and better than ever, making headlines with her new television show Cooking with Paris. I wonder why Anna has never invited her, despite inviting basically everyone from the Kardashian family this year. Number 7, Dolly Parton. God, what I would give to see Dolly Parton at the Met Gala. You just know that she would serve so hard. But alas, Dolly has never been to the Met Gala, and not for a lack of want either. She simply just hasn't been invited, which is so weird to me. She's obviously an A-list celebrity, one of the nicest people ever, so why has this legend with an extremely active career, one who is known for making insane statements with her outfits, not been to the fashion celebration event everyone loves to hate? I mean, come on, especially with Gilded Age as a theme. She would have brought fringe and sparkles and opulence all in one in a way that I know she is so capable of. She could, however, not want to go too, I guess, given how gaudy and self-serving the Met Gala also is. She isn't really one to be all look at me like some other celebrities are, so that could be a reason, but I do wish she would go, if only to wipe the floor with other celebs that just show up in like a suit or whatever. Number 6, Britney Spears. Now this one I was a little surprised about. Britney has never been to the Met Gala, and honestly, I think that may have had to do more with the controlling conservatorship she was under with her father. I doubt he would have allowed her to such a big event, given how cutthroat he was in controlling every aspect of her life. But now that it has officially ended, you'd think that this would finally be the year for the pop icon to make her Met debut. Alas, she sadly did not show up, and honestly I think that may have to do more with her insanely busy schedule. Working full-time in Las Vegas at her residency, being engaged, and caring for her children, Britney has an insanely busy lifestyle. Her workload is non-stop. I mean, just looking at her Instagram makes me exhausted. Number 5, Donald Trump. Now while there are some pretty obvious reasons why Donald Trump will never be invited back to the Met Gala, including with how controversial he is as a past president, Anna herself has confirmed that she will never invite him back to her event. One such reason is that he clearly broke one of her very strict rules while attending the Met Gala. Back in 2004, before he was the president, was instead just a television show host and socialite, Trump walked the Met Gala stairs with his then girlfriend Melania. He'd attended the party many times, but in 2004, he took the opportunity to be in front of a ton of cameras and proposed to Melania on the spot. He held up a 13-carat diamond ring worth more than $3 million, although he quickly informed everyone that he got it for half price. I don't know why you would say that. Anna Wintour does not allow such blatant tackiness at her events, instead upholding it to strict opulence and fashion expression. To take the spotlight like that must not have gone over well. That being said, I am eating my words a bit because he and Melania would go on to attend the gala up until 2012, when he was no longer invited. I can kind of smell a bit of going with the crowd from Anna here. While I ardently disagree with Trump's policies, I also disagree with being a yellow belly, and I think once Trump became too controversial is when he was no longer allowed to the event, despite being friends with Anna in the past. Number 4, Helena Bonham Carter. Helena Bonham Carter is the absolute queen of punk-influenced fashion, but she revealed on the Graham Norton show that she has never been invited to the Met Gala. I mean, can you imagine the power she would have held when the theme was punk chaos to culture in 2013? I am forever saddened that she didn't get to present her insane style on the carpet there. But I think honestly, I'm starting to see a trend as I was writing the script of celebrities not being invited who are known for their crazy wardrobes. I mean, Kim Kardashian wore the literal dress of Marilyn Monroe that shook the world when she looked naked except for being covered in diamonds, and it just kind of looked bland on the Kardashian. Helena Bonham Carter has a unique style, and even Rihanna hinted that her fashion may have something to do with why she's never been invited. While on the Graham Norton show episode that revealed she'd never been invited, Rihanna was also guest starring and quipped in a friendly and playful manner, quote, "That's because you wear dresses like that," and pointed to the actress's funky colored look. Number 3, Tina Fey. The comedian and actress has been to the Met Gala before, but definitely wasn't invited back after she gave it a scathing review in 2015 on the David Letterman show. She told the talk show host, quote, "I've gone to it once and it was such a jerk parade. Clearly I'll never go again. But you go and it's this beautiful space and it's just every jerk from every walk of life is there wearing some stupid thing. You walk up these huge steps and I went and I dragged my husband along with me too, which I'm still in trouble for." There is no way she'd have been invited back by Anna since, knowing that she does not take too kindly to naysayers. Number 2, Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly. This celebrity duo has routinely made headlines lately for being so freaking weird. But although Megan Fox has been to the event before, neither her nor her musical fiance have made an appearance at the 2022 Met. Megan actually usually does really well for herself in the fashion department of the event, and considering how popular the couple has been, it was pretty surprising that neither her nor MGK showed. It's unknown whether they were invited or not, but if they weren't, I bet it may be because they're a very dramatic couple. Anna Wintour absolutely doesn't like the spotlight being taken away from fashion, so maybe she saw the couple as a threat to staying on topic. Although I bet they would have done something pretty cool and weird if they did attend. Every year I'm a bit disappointed by some celebrities for having very boring outfits despite such cool themes, and I doubt I would have been bored by whatever that quirky duo could conjure. Number 1, Anya Taylor-Joy. I was so disappointed that Anya Taylor-Joy didn't show up to the 2022 Met Gala. She really is a total powerhouse of an actor. Queen's Gambit was absolutely phenomenal. But because she's in such high demand, it could be very well likely that she was invited, but rather couldn't attend because she's currently working on 4 different movies all at the same time. She's set to work in the upcoming films Furiosa, Laughter in the Dark, Amsterdam, and Menu. So I bet she could just not spare the time to wear a cool outfit for one night. I really can't wait to see her more though if her schedule allows it.
And at number 10, Donald Trump. Donald Trump attended the Met Gala numerous times with his wife Melania in the past, because New York socialites and even political figures are often invited to the Met. However, after he became president and enacted very controversial laws, he was banned from ever attending again. Many rumored he might be banned after many controversial statements, but this is one of the few people that Anna Wintour herself actually confirmed will not be invited back. And if you didn't already know, Wintour has been the editor-in-chief of Vogue since 1988, and she handpicks every person who is invited to the Met Ball. When Anna was asked during a segment of James Corden's Fill Your Guts or Spill Your Guts who she would never invite back to the Met again, she swiftly replied, Donald Trump. And at number 9, Kim Kardashian. These days it's hard to imagine a Met Gala without Kim Kardashian. When Kim was just known as a reality star back in the day, Anna revealed that she would not be inviting her to the Met. Apparently in 2012, Anna was adamant about not inviting Kim to keep the prestige of the event. A source even told Page 6 that, quote, Anna hates Kim. However, that all changed in 2013 when Kanye brought a pregnant Kim Kardashian to the Met Gala as his guest, which is something that Anna could not refuse. Since then, Kim has become a staple in high fashion and elevated her brand to be one of the most influential people in the world. And these days, the fashion world cannot ignore the Kardashian influence, and multiple Kardashian sisters are invited to the Met each year. And at number 8, Tim Gunn. Tim Gunn is incredibly well known in the fashion world and is somewhat of a staple on fashion television, as he starred in shows like Making the Cut and Project Runway. But even though he is fashion royalty, he said the wrong thing about Anna Wintour and has paid the price with his invite being permanently revoked. In 2006, Gunn was asked to recall the most unforgettable thing he's seen in fashion by the New York Post, and he answered, quote, watching Anna Wintour being carried down 5 flights of stairs by 2 bodyguards from a fashion show. Anna didn't like these comments, so Vogue asked for a retraction, but he refused, and his invite was taken as a result. He's claimed that he's been in a war with Anna and her team ever since. And at number 7, Khloe Kardashian. Most of the Kardashians get invited to the Met every year, with Kim, Kendall, and Kylie being staples at the event. Even Kris Jenner gets invited most of the time. However, neither Kourtney or Khloe have ever attended a Met Ball. Apparently that's because Khloe is banned, and Kourtney has never been relevant enough to grace the very A-list event. But it was rumored that Kourtney and her boyfriend Travis Barker were actually invited to the esteemed event this year, which would have been Kourtney's first Met, but Kourtney decided not to go for the sake of Khloe. A source said, quote, Khloe and Kourtney have never been invited to the Met Gala, but Kourtney was invited to this one and chose to stay home with Khloe because she didn't want to leave her alone. Another part of this is that the Met is known to be Kim's event, and she prefers that her sisters do not go so she can shine solo. If you're wondering why Khloe gets the cold shoulder, apparently she's too C-list for the event. And at number 6, Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj went viral on the night of the Met because she tweeted that she didn't attend the event because of the vaccine requirement. She tweeted during the event, quote, they want you to get vaccinated for the Met. If I get vaccinated, it won't be for the Met. It'll be once I feel that I've done enough research. I'm working on that now. In the meantime, my loves, be safe, wear the mask with 2 strings that grips your head and face, not that loose one. She added in a follow-up tweet that her cousin in Trinidad won't get it because his friend got the vaccine and became impotent after, finishing, quote, so just pray on it and make sure you're comfortable with your decision, not bullied. And I can assume that after calling out the event for their mandate, she will not be asked back. Halfway at number 5, Coco Rocha. Coco Rocha is one of the most well-known models ever, so it's strange that she never attends the Met anymore. But apparently Katy Perry is the reason that she's been blacklisted. In 2017, Katy Perry was one of the co-chairs of the event, which means she has an elevated role in the event and even has a hand in the guest list. The feud between these ladies actually happened years before in 2013 at the MTV VMAs when Katy wore the exact same Emmanuel Ungaro dress that Coco had worn to that year's Met Gala a few months before. After Perry wore the dress, Coco also joked about it in an interview in a way that Perry found offensive, so they've been on bad terms ever since. When asked about why she wouldn't be attending the Met Gala back in 2017, Coco Rocha told the Post, quote, "I don't know, you'll have to ask Anna Wintour that." In at number 4, Tina Fey. Tina Fey is hilarious, and she's well known for poking fun at her own celebrity and not taking herself too seriously, which aren't things that go well at the Met. After she attended the Met, she shared her experience with David Letterman in 2015. When asked if she had gone, she responded that she had, and that it was, quote, "such a jerk parade," adding, quote, "every jerk from every walk of life is there, wearing like some stupid thing. I dragged my husband along with me, which I'm still in trouble for." But she didn't stop there. She added later, quote, "if you had a million arms, all the people you'd want to punch are there." And it seems that after those comments, she knew she would not be invited back, and she added, quote, "clearly I'll never go again." And at number 3, Josh Hartnett. Banned is probably a pretty strong word for the treatment of Josh Hartnett. A better term would be not relevant enough to attend. And there are tons of celebrities that are not famous enough to attend because fame is always changing based on whatever project a celebrity has been a part of. The biggest sting against Josh specifically is that he was shown in a documentary about the Met called The First Monday in May, wherein Calvin Klein's team called up Vogue to request a seat for Hartnett, and they harshly responded, quote, "what has he done lately? Nothing. You guys are all set." Based on this response, it's clear that he's not banned for life, more so temporarily banned until he gets cast in something noteworthy. And at number 2, Amy Schumer. Amy Schumer is another celebrity that's made a name for herself by making fun of everything. But of course, making fun of the Met is gonna have some consequences. In 2016, Amy Schumer was asked about the event while on the Howard Stern show, and she said, quote, "it's people doing an impression of having a conversation. I don't like the farce. We're all dressed up like a bunch of effing a-holes." Adding, quote, "I have no interest in fashion, I don't care. I left earlier than I should have been allowed. I got to meet Beyonce, and she was like, 'is this your first Met Gala?' and I was like, 'it's my last.'" So again, Amy was self-aware that she either would not be invited back, or she knew she just wouldn't attend again even if she was invited. And finally, number 1, Demi Lovato. Demi has only been to the Met Gala once, and it seems that one time might be their last, either because they won't be invited back, or Demi just won't want to go. Demi spoke about their time at the gala with Billboard and said it was a horrible experience, saying, quote, "I had a terrible experience. This one celebrity was a complete bitch and was miserable to be around. It was very cliquey. I remember being so uncomfortable that I wanted to drink." This was very shocking because this was around the time that Demi was trying to get sober, and apparently the Met set her back off course. Demi added that they went straight to an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting after the Met, saying, quote, "I changed my clothes, but I still had my diamonds on. Millions of dollars of diamonds on an AA meeting." There was also a big scandal involving Nicki Minaj that followed the event. Nicki didn't tag Demi in a photo of them after the ball, to which Demi called her out for. This started another war, making the night even more awful for Demi than it was before.